I'd like to take a moment to share with you an excerpt of a conversation that I had with a client who said it was life-changing for him. And I've had this question asked of me several times, and I think it's fitting, and this is a good time to share with you. It's my hope that what I share with you is a blessing to you the way it was a help to him. He's 32 years old. He has a girlfriend that is 30. They do not have children. They have been dating for 6 months now. A couple of weeks ago, they had a conversation over dinner as the relationship is starting to get serious, where she revealed to him that she has been diagnosed with BP, or bipolar disorder. And he said it was kind of shocking, but in other ways it wasn't, that while the relationship was progressing, he could see some bipolar tendencies in her, but he's no licensed professional. He can't diagnose it. He just, said there was some behavior that she showed that was a little strange and not stable. And so he came to me, he said, "Doc," he said, "the problem that I have is that I really think I love her." And he said, "Man, I don't want to feel like I'm giving up on her. I don't want to feel like I'm not giving us a chance because she has this challenge." And he said, "But at the same token, it's just like, at what point do I consider myself in any of this?" I said, "Man, this is a powerful question. I've received this question several times. And, when he gave me permission to share his story after we reached an outcome, I thought it was very timely." I said to him, "There are 4 steps you can follow." And I get accused of simplifying things, but I believe that life is very simple. We complicate things. Just like relationships aren't complicated, people are complicated. We tend to overcomplicate life. And I tend to simplify life, because when you live a simple life, you live a peaceful one. I said, there are 4 steps I want you to think about. Step 1 is this: has she owned that she has this problem or this challenge? He said, "Yes, sir. She's fully owned it. She's sought medical help to get tested for it. And she has owned and admitted that she has it, apparently or clearly." I said, "Great. So we can go to step 2. So step 2 is this. The next thing you want to do is you want to get her the support that she needs, right? Meaning, if she's taking medication, if she has therapy, if she has a therapist, coach, whatever she has that has been prescribed to her to address the issue, your next step is to encourage her to get the support she needs. Okay, this is a very important second step, because it's one thing to own that we have a challenge. It's another thing to then take the steps necessary to try to resolve it. I said, this is an important step, because if she is not willing to take the steps to do the work, you can stop at step 2. And I said, I'm not being insensitive, but I'm being sincere. You can only help people to the extent in any situation in which they are able to help themselves. I said, she's an adult. I'm not talking about little children, right? Obviously, that should be obvious. But she is a full-fledged adult. And the reality is, your help to her will only be as useful as her willingness to help herself. I said, "Is she medicated? Does she have a therapist?" He said, "Yes, sir, she has that." And she goes, he said, "I didn't know until, she revealed to me what was going on." And, again, the relationship seems to be getting serious. So she admitted that she has a therapist. She has medication. I said, "Does she take the medication?" He said, "Yes, sir." And I said, I'm not going to make, and I'll say to you viewers, I'm not going to make this video about whether or not you should take the medication. It's not about that. That's a whole different bunny trail that we could go down. I said, but the fact that she has the medication, that she's been given a therapist, and she uses both, I said, is a positive sign, because apparently she's admitted it. She's taking the steps to resolve it. I said, here's step 3. I need you to measure your tolerance for sacrifice and support. Okay. The third step is you need to measure your tolerance for sacrifice and support. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "It's the same issue I have with people who want to marry people who have kids, but they don't have kids, right? did the video on blended families, people just took it and ran it and didn't listen for the context. It's not that blended families don't work. What tends to happen is sometimes people sign up for blended families and don't realize the responsibility they're signing up for. I said, so what you've got to do is if she's on the issue, she's getting help for the issue, then you've got to ask yourself, what is my tolerance level, excuse me, for sacrifice and support? Because until you measure that tolerance level, I'm awfully afraid that you can be so blinded by love that you have no clue of what you're signed up for. And so many people do this. They get so blinded by love. For a lot of people, it's just mere infatuation. They get so blinded by the situation they're in, and they haven't taken a step back to ask themselves, do I have the tolerance level to make the sacrifices necessary to be with someone who has this challenge? Do I have the tolerance level necessary to give the support to someone who has these challenges? And if the answer is no, abort mission, because it's not fair to you and it's not fair to the person that you're connected to. I said, here's the fourth and final step. I said, then if that's the case, then love them, but love them with boundaries. And when I say that, I mean, don't love them at the expense of losing you. Because you have to continue to love them. You have to continue to make sure they get the support they need. You have to continue to measure your tolerance level as you're loving them. And you have to continue to measure their willingness to continue to put in the work on themselves. And this is where boundary setting comes into play, because you have to set boundaries and make sure that your support for them is not greater than their support for themselves. That's how we set the boundary. That's how we measure it. So love them, but not at the expense of losing you. And that ensures that they continue to take responsibility for putting in the work themselves. He completely understood. He was so relieved. A great gentleman, even got a little teary-eyed on the call. I said, man, you're going to be okay. I said, you're doing incredibly well, and you've got a tremendous heart, because a lot of people will have just aborted mission without thinking this through. And I said to him, I have clients who are together and one or both of them have challenges, mental health challenges, and they're doing fine. It can work, but each person has to take responsibility for their space in that space. And if they do, and you follow those 4 steps, I think you're going to be headed in the right direction. I hope this made sense. If it did, type church in the comments with 3 R's. And then remember, you've got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.
What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb. Listen, I've been dying to make this announcement for a very long time now, and I'm pleased to say that Inspire Nation has officially launched. Yes, we finally got a Facebook and YouTube community group where we're going to have exclusive content, exclusive shorts, exclusive discussion prompts, where we're going to engage with other people literally around the world who are on the same healing journey that we're on. I need you to go find these pages right now on Facebook and YouTube. Inspire Nation, follow the page, join the group, introduce yourself, and be prepared to link up with literally thousands of people around the world who are on the same healing journey, who are looking for the same resources, and who want to also be surrounded with other like-minded individuals who are growing in the same direction as you are. I'm so excited about this because it's the beginning of some great things I can't talk about right now. Listen, you got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.